Kate Beckinsale and Brian Cox star in the new indie drama Prisoner's Daughter, which has a limited release in theaters. This film has an hour and 40-minute runtime, and I think it could have been a tight 88 minutes. First of all, it is not original. This is not unlike an indie drama we've seen before with the big redemption arc. So there's that. It follows very similar beats to films we've already seen, and that may have been done better in those other films. There's that. Now here's the deal. I question the casting choice because here you have, as brilliant of actors as they may be, you have two European actors playing Nevada residents without the Nevada accent. Now, Nevada residents have people born and bred in Nevada have a very distinct accent, and it wasn't used here. So one, why was the setting in Nevada, or rather, why these two actors? Was this a situation where the filmmaker wanted to work with these two actors as a package, and that's how this came together? Is this how this film got financed? Because of Brian Cox and Kate Beckinsale? Because committing, in my view, committing to a performance includes the accent. I think it does. It includes mannerisms. For me, it includes mannerisms, it includes accents, and it includes physicality, in my opinion. And that wasn't necessarily utilized here. Now, this is about redemption. You have a father and daughter estrangement. The father has lived a life of crime and contributed to his wife's death, which his daughter had to deal with, and he didn't because he was away in prison for over a decade. For 12 years he was in prison, and his daughter, because he had been, living this life of crime for so long, has really given up on him. And a lot of this is convenient in this film, but he has pancreatic cancer. The warden feels like he has contributed so much to the prisoners, has contributed so much to the inmates that he deserves to live out the rest of his life because he has pancreatic cancer. He doesn't have long to live, so he can live out the remainder of his sentence and life at his daughter's house if his daughter agrees to this compromise. And after a tug and war, because she has been so estranged and blames him for so much that has gone wrong in her life and the death of her mother, that at first she says no. That's always going to happen in a screenplay. She says no before she says yes. So the arrangement is that he is on house arrest, fitted with the ankle monitor, and he can't leave the house. But they go back and forth. He's never met his grandson. He begins building relationship with his grandson, and because she is so much in debt and can't even afford his grandson's medicine because he has seizures, that he needs to call in some favors for some people that owes him. And he does that. Ernie Hudson is in this film. And so he had seeded Ernie Hudson's character with a boxing gym. And so Ernie Hudson sells his Rolex to get him some money, and he gets that money to his daughter. Well, he intervenes in the situation that his daughter, played by Kate Beckinsale, he intervenes because she's having a tough time with her son's father, who is addicted to drugs and isn't contributing to their son's life or well-being. And he is very abusive, causing her to lose her job and the whole bit. And he eventually intervenes to the point where eventually the ex-husband fights back, and it gets really graphic there at the end, but not before. It gets really graphic at the end, and again, his death is imminent, so He eventually dies, but it gets really graphic. The whole journey though is really slow and winding. I think this film could have been cut down to a tight 80 minutes, and a lot of it would have worked. A lot of it should have been cut out because I think it was unnecessary scene filling, but it gets really graphic there in the end. It was very cringy, and I had to turn away because it was so very graphic. And it wasn't as graphic in the beginning, which makes it really unbalanced, but it's not unlike something we've seen. But of course, the performances are there to liven up the places where it felt mundane and rhetorical and unoriginal. It does. I still, though, why these two actors? Because they don't commit to the accent. That's that. It's a decent film. I think this may do really well on once it's streaming. I think it'll do well. I think the music, the score, and the soundtrack were really good. Really, I think it paired very well with the tone of the film. There's a really beautiful song. Tyson Ritter has a role in this film, and he did the music. I think he composed some really great pieces, again, that pair really well with the film and the tone of the film and even the style of the film. Christopher Convery is in the film. He plays the son of Kate Beckinsale's character. I think he does great. He's great at everything. I think he is going to be a formidable actor as his career progresses because he's so great now. But I think it should have been cut down. It is decent. If it's playing in a theater near you, certainly support. We always want to support indie films. But again, I think this is going to do really well once it's streaming. At any rate, Prisoner's Daughter is currently in limited release in theaters now.